Behind the Mirror of Music with Danny Cohen.
Hello and welcome to Behind the Mirror of Music. My name is Danny Cohen. Today's guest is Jeff Leyton. Jeff Leyton is West End's longest-running Jean Valjean in Les Miserables. In fact, Jeff has performed the role not just on West End, but also on various tours and concert productions. He also starred as Old Deuteronomy in the West End production of Cats, and is a favorite for his musical concerts around the world. I hope you will enjoy the show.
How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Yeah, I've been recording all day, just doing bits and pieces and things like that, just getting things sorted out. Now that we're getting going again, that's cool. I like all these pictures, your Phantom and the Snow White. And So what do you want to know, Danny? Am I pronouncing that right, yeah?
Yes, that's all right.
I was in Les Mis for quite a long time, so I know a little bit about it. Yeah, good.
Yes, that was the first question. How many times did you play Jean Valjean?
Roughly about 3,000 times over the years. From I got the part in 1991 from Cameron at Her Majesty's Theatre, and then we started off in Manchester in 1992. So that was the first time I played Jean Valjean. And then the last time was 2004, was taking it from, finished at the Palace in London, and then to get down to the Queen's. And I was the first and the last.
How did you keep the role fresh for you?
For me, it's about, I feel important to give the people who are sitting there the money's worth, and the possibility of somebody else being sitting out there that might give me my next job.
What attracts you to the role?
I heard Colin Wilkinson in 91 on 321 sing and Bring 'Em Home. And then I bought the album, and I listened to it as I was going to my gigs. And yeah, the role just grew into me. And then I went to an open audition in Manchester, and about 8 auditions after that, I got the role of Jean Valjean. Yeah.
Why do you think the story and the message of the story means so much to people?
I think it's the variation of personalities. Everybody identifies with each and every different character within the musical itself. I mean, I know people who are very similar to Thénardier, unfortunately, who love Thénardier. And they go, "Yeah, it's brilliant, brilliant." Yeah, and I'm going, "Yeah, I know why." But they're really nice people. That's what I mean. They're really funny people, happy people. And, the romantic side of it, like Marius or Cosette. And then there's the strict side, the black and white side of Javert, with no grays. And then there's the compassionate side of Valjean, who goes on the biggest roller coaster of his life through the whole musical, which is just about every shade. Have you ever read the book?
Yes.
Yeah, we had to every time I went into, and like a new cast would come in, we would go through with Ken or Matt Ryan or various other people, or Trevor Nunn or John Curd, little pieces of what we would be doing with Les Miserables. So, and you could, with what Victor Hugo wrote, you can identify with your character in a much clearer way.
Yes, I think I've read it various times, and when I was a teen, I could connect to Eponine more, but when I grew up, the more I could understand the other characters, and now I can understand even Javert, which I couldn't when I was younger.
Yeah, That's it. I mean, Eponine is, you know, she falls in love with Marius, and he doesn't see her, and it's very sad in a way that she has all this. But that's life, you know. That's part of life. That happens for real, you know, with people. Yeah.
Very true. You were in the news when a duet with you and actor Russell Crowe went viral. Can you tell about that?
Oh, Russell. Yeah. Well, that all happened when, I mean, I had many requests after the Royal Albert Hall when I represented Ireland. Now, I have to state that I am Scottish, but I also was the first Jean Valjean to play in Ireland in 1993 at the Point Theatre, which is one of the biggest theatres in Europe now. I think it's called the O3 or something like that. I can't remember. I can't keep up with it all. They keep changing the names. But I did Do You Hear the People Sing? And Russell heard it and liked it. And both Jim and I said to each other, well, why don't you ask him? I said, okay. So I said, you know, if you fancy doing the confrontation, we can, you know, I'd love to do it with you. And then Jim came on. He said, oh, well, I will do a track. Jim's in Ireland. I'm in Germany, and Russell's in Australia. And Russell came back. He said, well, fire me over the track. And he fired over the track. Jim fired the track over to Russell. Russell then put down a vocal. I put down a vocal. And then Jim stitched it all together. And well, Russell, it's been amazing because, you know, he's such a mammoth star, and he's such a lovely guy, and we still keep in contact with each other, which is amazing. You know, he's so busy, he's got a lot of things going on, and we have a little chats now and again through Twitter, which is quite nice. You know, I'm chatting with a mega star, you know.
You're in contact with Cher too, I read somewhere.
Cher, oh, Cher. Well, that was amazing. That was 2013. I kept seeing these things on YouTube, which were saying, if Cher pointed you towards this video, just put a thumbs up on it. And I'm thinking, what's this, Cher? I said, no way. You know, I'd never thought. And then my daughter said, Dad, you've got to see these, you know, you've got to see all these things that Cher's put on about, not only just on Twitter, but on various other platforms. And I was blown away by it, you know. I have asked her for a duet, but she hasn't responded.
Which video was it?
Well, it was the Bring Him Home video from Chelmsford, which was done in 1996, 97. I can't remember. I've done that many. I also did one at the Odyssey in the Point in Dublin. No, in Belfast. God, all the things I've got to remember. Yeah, and we did it with Peter Corey back then in year 2000. But that one that she liked was from the Chelmsford Park one that we did in 1996, 97. I can't remember. I was in Cats at the time. No, I wasn't. I was in Cats at the time when we did the 10th anniversary. Yeah. Such a long time ago.
Talking about Cats, you're starting the show as Old Deuteronomy various times. How do you feel about the show, and what are your best memories?
Oh, my best memories are just when Antonio Banderas came and watched the show, and he after it, the next day he turned up at the theatre with for chocolate cats for everyone, and he made that. I think the worst memory was when the air conditioning went off, and it was 104 in the theatre, and I'm sitting sweating in this massive, great big costume. But I mean, I met so many people, lovely people. John Partridge, who I worked with, who's absolutely fabulous rum tugger, and Claire Burt, who's amazing Grisabella, and a few other guys that I remember from all those years ago, 1990, beginning of 1996. Yeah. And Gillian Lynn and Trevor Nunn came in, and we went through all the routines and things like that. And Gillian and I, she taught me how to dance for the Jellicoe Ball at the very beginning, which I'd never danced in any musical before. so that was a bit of fun. Yeah.
What do you think people enjoy about the show so much?
I think it's just with people, it's everybody loves animals. It's like T.S. Eliot. I mean, he wrote about cats simply because it's like the love of cats. And I think people are amazed at the fact that you can actually turn a musical into cats, you know, which Sir Andrew Lloyd Webber did. It was an amazing piece. And the fact that we all go out into the audience and we're all connected in some way with everybody, and it just seems you're bringing cats to life within a very surreal situation with an audience, and I think that's why they love it. And it's quirky and it's funny and it's good fun. You know, it's one of those things where you're doing and you're watching there, and I'm sitting on a tire, just thinking to myself, this is great fun. I'm getting paid just having fun sitting here on a tire.
I think because when Andrew wrote it, nobody believed it would work, but it's one of the biggest musicals in the world.
Yeah, it's one of the longest and it's one of the biggest and most successful. I believe that Cameron Mackintosh and Sir Andrew Lloyd Webber were standing in the wings, absolutely terrified of what or how it was going to be taken by the audience, but they were delighted at the end result of the show. Yeah, I only wish I invested into it.
I think Paul Nicholas said that too some time ago.
Yeah, I think he did. Yeah,
he was asked, but he didn't.
It's an amazing show. I was told. I mean, I was listening to a little thing on the Facebook the other day there from John and Rhea Jones, and she was saying that you know, she didn't know that she was going to be asked to dance, and that she had gone to ring her agent at some point and then ask him. She said, I don't know what to do. I've been asked to dance. She said, and I told them I wasn't going to do it. Well, actually, I'd actually done exactly the same thing. I said, I'm okay, so long as I don't need to do what these amazing people out there are doing, because I can't do that. But it turned out with Chrissy Cartwright that I could, and Gillian Lynn that I could after a while. So, yeah, never say no.
Is there any role you always wanted to play?
Oh, yeah. I mean, Phantom is always something that I wanted to play. But every time I went up for the audition, Cameron Mackintosh would always put me back into Les Mis. Yeah, it would always be there. It would always be the same thing all the time, and I'd be like, oh no. And I could sing it. I actually have got a version of it on my Music of the Night album from Lynn Records that I did back in 1999, 98 with the Symphonic Orchestra of London's Symphonic Orchestra. And it has such a blend of so many things that you have to put in within the character that I love. And the expression and the storytelling of it is devious as well as romantic, and also something regal about who he thinks he is, you know, what he believes he is, and how he should be respected by everybody else. You know, there's it's an amazing piece, an amazing written piece as well by Andrew, as you know. Yeah.
Absolutely. You worked with two of our phantoms, Ethan Freeman and Mike Sterling. Do you have any memories of them?
Yeah, well, in London, I worked with Ethan Freeman. Ethan came out of Phantom and went into playing Javert with me in London at the Palace Theatre. And he's a fabulous, fabulous, lovely guy. In fact, he's still working and he's traveling around. In fact, I got in contact with him to try and find contacts in Germany, because this is where I'm living now, in the south of Germany. And Harvik Rudolph, who also a German guy who I've known for years. We met up at Lindau not so long ago, and we were talking about old times and things like that. And I said, oh, hey, I'm doing a version of The Confrontation with a Javert who's much more famous than you are. And who could be more famous than me? He said, Russell Crowe. Oh, but he's always funny. That was a joke with Hardy, an incredible guy. Ethan was lovely. Mike Sterling was someone that I worked with in the beginning of Les Mis, who played Marius. And he lovely guy, and a great Welsh guy, great sense of humor, big heart. And, you know, it was a pleasure to work with someone. We were actually on a little album of the cast, of the Manchester cast, which features Philip Quast, who was my first Javert, and Mike Sterling, Rhea Jones, Meredith Braun, Danny Cole is Enjolras, Fiona Sinnott, who was Cosette, beautiful Cosette, Tony Timberlake, Thénardier, Louise Plowright, bless her, she's gone now, with a beautiful Thénardier, one of the most beautiful Thénardiers we ever had, and bless her. So, yeah, memories. I've got 1,000 of them. Yeah, and so I'm putting feelers out now, because I'm reckoning somewhere in September. Hopefully, we'll get back together again and you know, do something. You know, even if I did Cats again or played Old Deuteronomy, it would be amazing, you know, to go back in and do something again. Because I'm actually I want to do something when I get back again. You know, I've been so long out of it. I lived in Tenerife for over 10 years, and it was great. I had my own show over there, but you know, it's not the same as doing the West End. It's not the same as treading the boards or treading or theatre anywhere, basically. Yeah, I've got all my paintings in the back. I'm doing a 170 centimeter painting, which is taking quite a while. It's a little project as well.
Looks beautiful.
You can't really see it, but when it's done, when it's finished, it should be okay. Hopefully.
Thank you so much.
Okay, Dan. No, you're welcome. You're very welcome. Okay, you take care now. Okay, Danny, you take care now, and enjoy enjoy the rest of the evening. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Behind the Mirror of Music with Danny Cohen.